Well, are you ready for some unindoctrination? I'm Jeffrey Daugherty, the Christian Whistleblower. Welcome to the channel. And happy Mother's Day to all you mothers out there. And all of you that aren't mothers, but are taking care of kids and stuff. So I guess that makes you a mother. But happy day to you. Of course, to my mom, all of you mothers out there, we appreciate you. And I guess it's a little silly to say we wouldn't be here without you, because that's pretty plain, pretty clear. But we do appreciate all the mothers, and we appreciate and hope that you have a great day. And today we're going to talk about some stuff, some good stuff, and we're going to answer some questions that some questions that I always get. And one of the main questions I always get is, okay, Jeff, you've destroyed the Christian fear and guilt, blood magic, mind control matrix. What's next? And up until now, I haven't done the greatest job with what's next. So we're going to begin to talk about what's next, and we're going to begin to talk about moving on, and we're going to begin to talk about moving up. And as always, our first segment is brought to you by the great people at MISTech. Go to jeffreydaugherty.com, click on the MISTech logo. The MISTech jewelry keeps you at the Schumann resonance. It keeps your blood in perfect order. It takes care of EMF in your body, and it also helps your subtle body. So go to jeffreydaugherty.com, click on the MISTech logo. And if you have questions about your MISTech order, simply contact Halo, H-A-L-O, at mistech.net. If you send me an email, I got to send it to him. It goes to a different email box. He doesn't see it. Do yourself a favor. Do me a favor. If you have questions about MISTech after you order, go to mistech.net. If you want to get MISTech, go to jeffreydaugherty.com, click on the MISTech logo. Okay. And I appreciate whoever was out there that didn't talk about business in the chat room. Boom. So let's talk about this, and let's show you what's next, and let's show you where we're going. What is next? Well, it's an interesting road that we're on. And this is where we were, a lot of us. We were in the cross-clinging religion. And in the cross-clinging religion, this is where you're supposed to be. This is where you're supposed to stay. And this is one of those passages that gets slipped into the script, and we're sure it's a script. This gets slipped into the script to kind of tell you, oh, this is what's going on. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is what's going on. When you're in Christianity, you're a child. You talk like a child. You think like a child. You reason like a child. But one of these days, if you've got a connection, and if you've got some realization of the spark of divinity within you, you're going to become a man. You're going to become a woman. And you're going to recognize how childish the ways of the cross-clinging religion are. And you're going to move away from those. I think it might be appropriate real quickly here at the beginning to take a look at this particular passage, and just to get an idea of what it's talking about, because this is where many of us have come from. We've come from here. Now, yes, we've destroyed this. Yes, we've wrecked this, but it's a good idea sometimes to know where you've come from, and it gives you a better understanding and a better direction of where you want to go to. So this is where we're from. We're from a place that we were children. And that word child, nephios, means infantile, simple-minded, immature. And when we were Christians, we were infantile, simple-minded, or immature. We were unlearned. We were unenlightened. We were indoctrinated. And the simple fact of the matter is, if you're a Christian, or if you're a Christian, you're infantile. If you're a Christian, you're simple-minded. If you're a Christian, you're immature. Because if you weren't, you wouldn't be. You couldn't be. It's impossible. You're simple-minded if you're a Christian. You're immature. You're unlearned. You're unenlightened. You've got the mind of a child, because only the mind of a child will believe fairy tales. Easter Bunny, Santa Claus, HERU, Christu. They all are the same thing. And you are this. Sorry, but it's the truth. Simple-minded, immature. And the people that are still pushing the cross-clinging religion on you, they know you're simple-minded and they're taking advantage of it. They know you're immature and they're taking advantage of it. They know that you're unlearned and they're taking advantage of it. They know that you're unenlightened and they're taking advantage of you. It's child abuse. It's their first step in child abuse, is to sell you on this childish religion. You talked like a child. Do you ever listen to yourself? Do you ever watch in the chat room the comments that come from cross-clingers? It is chatter. It's blah, 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 blah. It's just gum flapping. It's baby talk. It's stupidity. They talk like children because they are children. You're a devil. You're an antichrist. Never, I don't think the Greek word means that, because they don't know that. They don't go there. They talk like children. And how do children talk? Children are mean. You know, children are mean. Children can be the best or the worst, but kids, they are mean. They will tell you that you're ugly if they think you're ugly. They will tell you that you're a retard if they think you're a retard. They'll make fun of the different person. That's what children do. And that's why I get all of the comments that I get from these cross-clinging children. And I understand that they're children. So they talk like children. Why do they talk like children? Because they think. They have the understanding of a baby. They think, they judge. They are babies in thought. Their reasoning, their logizomai, the way they reckon, the way they consider. Baby. What's a baby do? A baby cries until it gets what it wants, and then it sucks on its binky and everything's okay until it wants something else. And a baby's happy when it's told what to do, spiritually speaking again. So that's what they talk like. That's what they think like. That's what they reason like. But sooner or later, you got to become a man. You got to become a human being. And this is written in a sexist era, but it's all right to become a woman too. You don't have to become a man. That's not what I'm saying, woman. You have to set aside. You have to physically render inoperative. You've got to abolish all of that programming. And even if you weren't a cross-clinger, you grew up in a cross-clinging culture. And there's things in you because of the last 2,000 years that we've been through that you've got to render inoperative if you're ever going to be unchildish, if you're ever going to be completely divine, completely sovereign, completely free. You've got to abolish some things. You got to make some things inactive. You got to annul them. You got to discharge them. That's a great point for what we're talking about. They have to be discharged. You got to separate from them. And you can't separate from something if you keep hanging around it. And if you keep hanging around it, you're going to get the stuff of hanging around. You're going to get things that render you inoperative. You're going to get things that make you idle and inactive. You're going to get things that make you of no effect. So you've got to decide that you're going to decide. And you're going to be divine, you're going to be sovereign, you're going to be free. But the cross-clinging religion is built to keep you just the opposite of that. And any continued participation within that cross-clinging religion of any stripe or fashion, the more, if you continue to hang out with cross-clingers, you're going to get cooties, cross cooties. You lay down with dogs, you get up with fleas. But we've got some abolishing to do. We've got some annulling to do. We've got some discharging to do. We've got some stuff we've got to do, because now we're not children anymore, and we're not comfortable with childish ways. We want to go up and become a full person. So Here's what's next. You've been asking me, Jeff, what's next? Well, here it is. It's taken me a while, but I had to make sure I had it right and had to make sure the time was right. Well, it is, and here we go. What's next? In 1932, ladies and gentlemen, a study was commissioned, a search began, an investigation to determine the dynamic principle of existence in a workable form, which might lead to a resolution of the problems of mankind. This was 88 years ago. In case you haven't looked around lately, mankind's got problems. And most of the problems stem back to the cross-clinging religion and the adherence to the cross-clinging religion. So in effect, this new way of thinking was created to deprogram us, to discharge the effects of cross-clinginess and the effects of a cross-clinging culture. And it was research in ancient and modern philosophy. And it literally was a worldwide search. The guy that came up with these ideas didn't really come up with these ideas. He went and he looked and he studied across the world and picked up the best from the various thoughts and ways of doing things. And the only criteria was, does it work? Does it work? And at the end of the day, that's the only criteria of anything that you should retain in your life. Does it work? Is it effective? Does it serve me? And if it does, keep it. If it doesn't, lose it. Literally a worldwide search. And in the following years, the research was put to test in the field to prove or disprove it. It's not just something somebody thought of, oh, this sounds great, let's write a book. No, it was tested. It was tested in military applications. It was tested in social applications. It was tested with broke people. It was tested with fixed people. All of this has been field tested. And I can tell you it's been personally experienced by me, myself. I don't bring you things. Oh, Jeff and his magic bracelets. I bring you Mistech because Mistech works. I bring you C60 because C60 works and I use it. And I use Mistech, obviously. I bring you Fluffy because it works and I use it. Hell, I even use HERU soap, Freedom soap. What's it called? Let Freedom Clean. HERU soap, I think. Is it Freedom soap? You know what I'm talking about. That soap. All of it. The Rocket. I ordered a Rocket because it works and it's good. Now, it was so good that the last round of volunteers, there was 20 of them, every single one of them was rehabilitated. Every single one of them. What we're talking about will successfully remove any compulsion, any repression, any neuroses, and any psychoses. And after 2,000 years of cross-clinging religion and cross-clinging culture, cousin, we got compulsions, we got repressions, we got neuroses, and we got psychoses. We need to get ourselves fixed from that child mind to come into a mature mind. And we can also pair it with other tech that helps us develop into our complete spiritual optimization. Whoops, did I miss it? No. So, it's a heuristic science. What does heuristic mean? Heuristic means actually tried in the real world. It's not theory. It's not some idea. It's not something from a dusty book 2,000 years ago that somebody told somebody that told somebody that told somebody times 875 that, oh yeah, this works. But nobody's ever seen it work. When's the last time that the God of the Bible showed up? Yeah, we're still waiting for that, aren't we? Been waiting for 2,000 years. Guess what? He ain't coming. But this is something that is, oh, we watch this stuff work in the field, in real life. It's workable. It's not idealistic. It's workable. It's not idealistic. It's practical. It's real. And we have a hard time with real stuff because we've been used to fake stuff for so long. We've been used to fairy tales and Mother Goose and all of this stuff for so long that anything that's real, we automatically are kind of suspicious of. Isn't that weird? If it's cross-clingy, mystical, we take it. Oh, we'll take it. But if it's actually real, I don't know about that. It's crazy. In fact, this is so practical that it bugs people. Because you can basically talk about two things in this world: the stuff we can know and the stuff we can't know. Cross-clinging is all about the stuff you can't know. How convenient. Oh, what is that stupid saying about how God is all mysterious and all that stuff? Oh, the rat bastard moves in mysterious ways. Yeah, they're mysterious because he's hiding them, because he doesn't want you to know. It's unknowable. They don't want to let you know what's going on. The CIA moves in mysterious ways too. So does the NSA. They move in mysterious ways. The rat bastard is just like them. It's a mind control, thought control, control matrix. The stuff we're about to talk about, what's next? We move from the unknowable to the knowable. We move from the undemonstrable to the try it and you'll see. We move from the fake to the real. We move from the being used to control you to the you get to take charge. That's what we move from. And this data is here, and it's been shown to solve the problems of the human mind. For 2,000 years, these cross-clingers have been promising us it's going to get better while telling us it's going to get worse. Have you ever thought about that? These cross-clingers, oh, come to HERU, and everything will get better. But everything's getting a lot worse. That's why you got to be of a child mind to accept it, because it don't make no sense. We don't need to. Listen to this and listen to me carefully. We don't need to be worried about spiritualism or deism or telepathy or clairvoyance, any of that stuff, to fix our brains. We don't need any of that stuff to get ourselves squared away and optimized physically, mentally, emotionally. But Jeff, I want to know about spiritually. Can I tell you a secret? You will never be spiritually optimized. You'll never be ready for spiritual optimization until you've got physical, intellectual, emotional optimization. You can't get spiritual while you're still crazy. You just can't. Go look around spiritual circles. Pick a spiritual circle, any spiritual circle. Spend 48 hours there, and you will see that you are surrounded by crazy people. Because they don't care about physical optimization. Oh, we don't care about the body. It profiteth little. Yeah, because they want to keep you crazy so they can keep you controlled. Oh, we don't care about our mind. We don't care about our intellect. We don't care about our emotions. Yeah, because they want to keep you crazy so they can keep you controlled. We just want to know about spirituality. We want to know about puppy dogs and rainbows and unicorns and fluffy bunnies. That's why I don't care what religion you pick. That just hit me. I don't care if you pick a religion. I don't care if you pick a cult. I don't care. Pick a YouTube channel that is cross-clinger based, or that's new age based, or that's spiritually based in any way. Watch it for 48 hours. You will realize there's some crazy bitches. They're crazy. One thing about us here, we're not crazy. It's like Dyer says, spirituality attracts unstable people every time. And why do they attract unstable people? Because it's easy to control unstable people. It's easy to herd unstable people. It's easy to get unstable people to give you lots of money. It's easy to get unstable people to go where you want them to go. It's easy to get unstable people to do what you want them to do. And it's easy to get unstable people to worship you and call you the greatest thing that ever happened. It's easy. It's easy. But what we're trying to do is get you stable first. You ain't ready for this. If you're like that, you got to get your mind optimized. You got to get your body optimized. You got to get your intellect optimized. You got to get your emotions optimized. No drama zone. Real spirituality ain't got no drama. Leave that for your mama. This is what's next. Moving from what is to what is supposed to be. That's next, ladies and gentlemen. And the first way you can know that somebody ain't crazy is if they are living according to this baseline, this bottom line that every sane being wants. Survive. Go to these cults. Go to these churches. Go to these YouTube channels. They don't care about surviving. Oh, we don't care about this world. We don't care about our bills. We don't care about our health. We don't care about our minds. We don't care about our emotions. We just want that. We just want a piece of that pie in the sky, in the sweet by and by, after we die. And hey, we'll even kill ourselves. We're ready. That's called crazy. Because if you don't want to survive, if you're not focused on surviving, and not just surviving, but thriving within a survival mode, then we don't really want you here. You can't help us. Go for one of those crazy cults. Look for some Kool-Aid. Just smell the Kool-Aid. Follow your nose. Your childish nose knows the smell of Kool-Aid wherever it goes. Follow your nose. Find your Kool-Aid. We can't help you here. That's the lowest common denominator of those that ain't crazy. I'm not saying we're well. I'm just saying we're not crazy. All forms of energy that ain't crazy embrace this idea of survivable. Survivable. And if you're not crazy, it's a command. I got to take care of myself. I got to take care of my kids. I got to take care of my business. I don't want nobody taking care of me. I got to take care of me. I'm going to survive. And even when you start getting to the spiritual, beyond the finite universe, disembodied entities have the same first axiom: survive. This is your preachers, your pastors, your priests, your gurus. They are disembodied entities. They will say and do anything in order to survive. And there's this craziness in New Age movement. All you have to do is ask them if they're of the light. Are you wondering about a teacher? Ask them, are they of the light? Are you worried about a spirit, an angel, an ascended master? Ask them, are they of the light? And they have to tell you the truth. No, they don't. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. Lying spirits are called lying spirits because they're lying spirits. You can ask them if they're of the light, and all day long they'll say yes when they're not. And your pastor, your priest, your preacher, your guru, your YouTube presenter, if they have anything to do with cross-clinging, is an entity or is controlled by an entity. And they will do anything to survive. They will do anything they have to keep you around so they keep getting paid. Hell, I chase off more people than I attract. What does that say about me? I don't give a damn if you're here or not. I really don't. I do, but I don't. If I chase you away by telling you truth, I don't want you here in the first place. If I chase you away by giving it to you straight, I don't want you here in the first place. If I hurt your feels and you run away, that means you're a baby and you're not ready. There is a method to this madness. There is a method to this madness. These other channels, these other churches, these other cults, these other gurus, they do everything they can to keep everyone they can. Why do I do the opposite? Because we're looking for people that want to take the next step, not for people that just want to herd up in this step. We're looking for people that want to break the matrix, not people that are content living within it. We don't do crazy. We run crazy off. And it works. It works. We're here to survive and to thrive, not to just barely stay alive. We do care about our lives. We do care about being good people. We do care about being responsible people. We do care about having mental health. We do care about having physical health. We do care about having intellectual and emotional health. We do. And if you don't, well, bye. Because you ain't going to like it here. And we ain't got no time for you. Just the bottom line. The purpose of the mind is to solve the problems related to survival and thrival. The ultimate success of an organism is its immortality. But you don't empower yourself to immortality by forgetting about all the shit here. Do you realize that if you're in kindergarten, you don't get to go to first grade until you can do the kindergarten stuff? That's the way it's supposed to be. If you're in first grade, you don't get to go to second grade until you can do all the first grade stuff. You don't get to go to junior high. I know I'm old, but we called it junior high, unless you've done all the elementary stuff. You can't go to high school until you've mastered the junior high stuff. You can't go to college until you can master the high school stuff. Cross-clingers of all stripes and varieties, if they talk about a cross, atonement, saviors, Jeebus, they're cross-clingers. They think that you can go from kindergarten to college. They think that you don't have to fix anything in order to inherit everything. Cynthia's grandson's coming over here today. He's, I don't know, 4 or 5, 3, 4, 5, 6, little guy. He really wants a knife. They won't give him one. I think they should, but they won't give him a knife. But if he likes a knife, he'd really like a Glock. I got a couple of them. I could give him a Glock, and he'd really like it. And by the end of the day, I don't know how many people would be dead, but it would be a high number. Trying to give you people, you cross-clinging people, this kind of information is like giving that kid a Glock. You're going to hurt yourself and other people. You're not ready. And they think that they can go from kindergarten to college. You can't. And that's why they're wrecks. W-R-E-C-K-S is wrecks. This creates the great gulf between cross-clinging and true spirituality. Cross-clinging leads you to ignore this life. Don't worry about this world. This world is passing away. Don't worry about this world. Don't worry about surviving. Cross-clinging tells you to forget about the most important dynamic in your life. Don't worry about survive. Cross-clinging tries to tell you that you're more spiritual if you forget about the basic dynamic of survival. Forget about making yourself better. Forget about making yourself stronger. Forget about making yourself faster. Forget about learning how to survive in this world. Because we're just going to focus on the next. Guess what? You can't get to the next until you figured this one out. And that's why cross-clingers don't want you to figure this one out, because they don't want you going to the next, because they rule this one. They want you coming back here. They want you to fail. And the ultimate failure in immortality is death without correcting your survive. If we want to maximize our life here, they want to forget your life here. We want to fulfill that drive to survive and then be prepared to survive the failure of death by moving on to our next step in spiritual optimization. Cross-clinging religion is set up to make you fail to get out of this realm. Because if you keep coming back, they keep getting to use you and abuse you. We use you and abuse you a little bit to get you to realize what's going on. We don't use you. We just abuse you a little bit. And telling you the truth is abuse. What a weird world this is. We don't baby you because we're trying to get you to learn to survive this world. And when death comes, be victorious over it and take your next step in spiritual optimization. Cross-clinging is set up to make sure that you don't and that you can't. And know this, folks, if you hear me right now, if you're watching me right now, even if you just came here from church, or even if you're about to go to church, if you just came from one of these crazy YouTube channels, if you're watching me right now, understand that you're a winner. Look around. Remember in church, say to your neighbor, bless the Lord. Don't say that. Say, if you got a neighbor, you're a winner. If you ain't got a neighbor, find a mirror and say, you're a winner. Well, Jeff, I don't feel like a winner. Speaking just in terms of survivability, the very first dynamic, man is the most successful organism currently in existence, at least on this planet. We are winning the perpetual cosmic election, which selects the thinker of the new thought. We're the dominant species in the world. We're winning. So no matter how bad you've messed up, if you're living, breathing, hearing, watching, you're a winner. No matter how screwed up you are, you're a winner. Right now, in spite of your best efforts to lose, you're still on the winning side. You're still on the winning side. And it means that if you're still here, you've still got some persistency in that strength of the basic dynamic of survive. Because if you wouldn't, you'd already put a piece of lead behind your ear. But we want to move beyond that. We want to move just beyond barely getting by, and we want to learn to optimize ourselves. And we are the people that don't want to just optimize ourselves. We want to optimize our group. We want to optimize our race. We want to optimize all of humanity and get all of humanity to the place where we can successfully navigate this place and move to the next place. We're all trying to get to the next level, and ideally, we'd help each other out to get to the next level. But some of you are going to keep us from getting to the next level, so we cutting you loose. No excuses, no apologies. If you're going to keep us from getting to the next level, we are cutting you loose. We're cutting you loose. Now, Jeff, how do I know if I'm making improvement? Well, if you are making improvement towards surviving, you'll get pleasure from it. You're learning to let go of the cross-clinging religion. You're learning that your ship is not coming in. You got to swim out to meet it. You're learning that ain't nobody coming to save you. That should make you feel pleasurable because you are learning to survive. And really, when we're talking about in the basic dynamic survive means take care of your damn self. Failure are things that make you feel sorry or painful about, like, ooh, I'm still watching those cross-clingers. It makes me feel, I still want to pray to somebody and worship somebody. Why? That's an indication of something that is not going to help you in the first dynamic of survive. It's not going to help you. And when you feel pleasure, you know you're doing good. When you don't feel pleasure, you know you're not doing good. So learn to do what makes you feel more empowered. And cross-clinging perverts the concepts of survive and is anti-survive because they don't want you surviving. They want you coming back so they can survive off of you. So what about good and evil? What about good and evil? Good and evil has to be defined. What is good? What works is good. That's the simplest definition I can give you. What works is good. If it helps you, if it helps your family, if it helps your group, if it helps your race, if it helps your mankind to move closer to the ability of independent survival, then it's good. It's good. If it limits your ability to individually survive, to individually thrive, then it's evil. Cross-clinging has you waiting on somebody to come back to save you, has you barely hanging on until somebody else can do your due. It's evil. It's counterproductive to the very basic dynamic of life, which is take care of your damn self. Good is constructive. Evil is destructive. It's just that simple. Does it help you? Does it build you towards independent survival? Yes or no? You know what's good. You know what's bad. And what we're trying to teach you is to get past irrationality, to get past the knee-jerk reactionism, and to give you a way to think and reason and know that you're on a path towards independent survivability. And you've got to beware of the search for the magic bullet. This always reminds me of Jay. Jay is looking for the magic bullet. You remember Jay. Every week he's read a new book, and that's the magic bullet. This book is the one. This book is the one that's going to give you all the answers. Next week, oh, no, this book is the one. Next week, no, this book is the one. No, this book's right. No, this book. There are no silver bullets. You're not going to find the teacher that gives you the silver bullet. You're not going to find the YouTube channel that gives you the magic bullet. You're not going to find the book that gives you the bullet. You're not going to find the tape that gives you the bullet. There's not a video coming up that's going to have the magic bullet. Because the magic bullet is take responsibility for your own shit and fix your own shit. That's the magic bullet. Work hard and make yourself physically, mentally, emotionally, intellectually optimized. Then you can start to become spiritually optimized. But until you do that, you can't, because you're trying to do something with broke down stuff. Our power went out the other day, and our generator didn't work. We had a generator. It had all its pieces there. It was a generator. Generator's supposed to make electric come into the house. Guess what? That generator wasn't working. It was there, but it wasn't working. So what? We didn't have no power. You've got everything you need to power your life, but something's broken because it's cross-clinged, cross-circuited. It ain't a magic bullet. You're the magic bullet. And beware the search for the magic bullet. The guru that says, oh, I've got the message. No, he doesn't. I've got the message. No, she doesn't. The book, this is the book. No, it's not. The religion, this is the one. No, they're not. And I don't care where you go or where you run or where you hide. Wherever you go, there you are. It's just you in a different place. And what you took there is still there when you get there. If you are broke where you are, you will be broke where you go. It ain't about the place, cousin. It's about your face. Look in the mirror, realize, oh shit, if it is to be, it's up to me. And there's no magic bullet. You just got to strap it on and go to work. And that's what we're here. What's next? Oh, you mean it's not just trust Jeebus, mumble a prayer, invite a couple entities into my life and live happily ever after? No, that's not it. You mean I actually got to do some work? Yep. What have you ever got in your life that was good for you that you didn't have to work for? Oh, this is too much like growing up. Why do you think it's called putting aside childish things? When an individual is acting against his survival of his individual, personal, independent survival, that also works against his group, his race, works against mankind. And it's stupid. It's unintelligent. It's uninformed. It's aberrated. Probably in this world because they're affected by the cross-clingers. Every single instance of aberrated conduct that ain't going to make you survive, threatens the general good of you, is proven to have a source which will specifically be found to be a painful experience containing data not available to your analytical mind. Every problem you got happened when something happened to you. It's not from you. It's not because of you. It ain't something you did. It's something that was done to you. You just got to find it. In Christianity, cross-clinging dismisses and leaves intact as original sin who you are so that you never try to fix it. We can fix it. If you did have original sin and you don't, we can fix it. Just that simple. Every single instance and every single piece of aberrated conduct has an exact cause in something physically painful during a moment of unconsciousness. And we can find it and we can fix it. Christianity, cross-clinging, wants to ignore it because they don't want you fixed. Because they want you back here again so they can continue to use you and abuse you and live off of you. It happens at a time when you're not conscious. And do you realize that cross-clinging tries to get you to be unconscious? What do you think that whole worship service is about? I was one of the pioneers of the modern worship service. I figured out how to hypnotize people on a mass scale. You bring them in and you have celebration. We're clapping, yay, we're dancing. Ooh, yeah, we're getting all, yeah. And then you move it down just a bit and you start doing the praise songs. A little slower, get their hands up. They've been excited, they're clapping, get their hands up now. Yeah, they're a little bit. And then you move into worship. It's quiet. It's intense. They're crying. Their eyes are closed. Their hands are raised. They're fully surrendered now. It's called a trance. It's called hypnotism. It's called unconscious. You're not even conscious anymore. Your mind is open, and I can step up to the microphone right after that, and whatever I want to say goes boom right into you. No filters. Because you're not aware of the now. And consciousness means being aware of now. It's all set up to make you unaware of now. Why do you think these channels have the lighting they do and the sound that they do and the camera angles that they do? Trying to get you out of now. It's hypnotism. It's mind control. It's basic. Monarch, MK Ultra, bad NLP, black Dianetics. That's what it is. But see, they know a secret that you don't know. There's a part of your mind, it's called the reactive mind. It's never, ever unaware. It's always aware. It always records. And it's making this thing called a time track or a life track. And everything that's on it is there and stays there. And when you can get someone into trance, you can speak directly to that reactive mind and plant things in that reactive mind. And guess what? When things happen, that reactive mind overpowers every other part of mind and makes a person do a thing. This is what happens when you got people where I can show in the script that this is true. And it sparks something in their reactive mind they picked up during worship, and boom, all of a sudden, they can't see, think, hear, feel. All they're going to do is lash out. The reactive mind is not affected by unconsciousness. In fact, that's when the reactive mind is in charge. And that's why they do the things that they do. That's why they do the things that they do. And we're going to stop here for today. What's next? Well, now you have an idea of what's next. And now you have an idea of why it's next. and you have an idea of where we're going and what we're doing. This is important. This is powerful. We've had to unlearn error before we could even get ready to take on some truth. And like Mark Twain said, if it hadn't been for a priest, there never would have been a sinner. And like Mark Twain said, I spent my whole life worrying about things that were going to happen, and one or two of them actually did. We got to start living in this life. We got to start forgetting what we've been told, and we got to start learning how to become divine, sovereign, and free, period. We'll go to the chat room real quick. And see what has and what people are saying. Let's see. They will be coming back, and that's the whole point of cross-clinging, is to get you to come back, because they literally feed off of you. They are lazy. Absolutely. They are 100% lazy. They will be born again into this same flesh so that they can be drained again. The vampire's got the perfect system. You keep this one around until it's drained, it dies, it gets born again, you can drink it again. It's recycling. It's the perfect plan. Makes so much sense when you really finally see it. I'm surprised we didn't get much talk in here from cross-clingers. Doesn't look like there's a whole lot going on. Let's see what else we got. Again, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. We appreciate you. We really do. That's why we call the herd. Absolutely. Isn't it weird? All these other channels and all these places that are cult-based and want a following, they do everything they can to avoid anyone leaving. They do everything they can to make sure that everybody stays. And I do the opposite. Why? Because we really care about you. We really want you to thrive and survive. We would rather lose you with a hard truth than keep you with soft lies. Who loves you, baby? Like Kojak used to say, if you remember Kojak back in the Dizow. That was a minute or two ago. Folks. What else we got? Harry, I don't agree with you much, but I was going to say I disagree with you here. I'm not sure if I do, because good and evil could be relative to the individual, because good is what helps you align yourself with the first dynamic, and evil is what doesn't help you. And there may be something that helps Harry that Jeff could take or leave. There may be something that helps Harry, that hurts Harry, that wouldn't hurt Jeff. Or conversely, some of the stuff that Jeff would call this wouldn't be good for Harry. So ultimate good and evil is very definable. It either helps you towards surviving or doesn't help you. So ultimate good and evil is not relative. It just is. But there are aspects of good and evil that are relative. So the answer is, as Halo would say, yes and no, yes and no. That's excellent. And even this one. Lola, thanks for being here. Beneficial is good, hindering is evil. She's right. What goes towards survivability, good. What hinders survivability, evil. Perfectly said, Lola. Perfectly said. Thank you for your contribution. Again, I'm yes or no with Harry, because yes, evil is essential as a teaching tool, but some people say, oh, my pain helps me. No, your pain never helps you. Your pain is always counter to survivability, but evil is good as a feedback mechanism. Is this making me feel like I'm making progress? No. Okay, then that means it's evil. Let me move aside. So yes, they're essential, but no, they're not. Yes and no, yes and no. Harry making us think deeply today. I like it. I like it. I like it. Let's see. And this word here, belief, do you really think it's a coincidence that the word belief has a lie right in the middle of it? Do you really think it's coincidence that the word believe has a lie right in the middle of it? Do you really think that's coincidence? Knowing what you know about spelling and knowing what you know about resonance and frequency and knowing what you know about language, do you really think that the lie in the middle of every belief is just a coincidence? Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. Wow. Wow. A lot of good stuff in here today. A lot of good stuff in here today. A lot of powerful stuff in here today. And we appreciate every single one of you. Johnny, I got to say no, bro. I got to say no. I got to say thumbs down to this one. Because if you free yourself, you automatically change the world. But here again is a yes or a no. For most people, they can't be worried about changing the world right now. They got to be worried about freeing themselves first. So yes, until you free yourself, you ain't got time to worry about changing the world. And oftentimes changing the world can be a distraction to this right here. That's what these cross clingers do. Oh, we're going to do missions and we're going to do this and we're going to do that. Yeah, but you're still not free. So yes and no on Johnny again. Good one. Good one. Good one. Good one. Good one. And here, can I say yes and no again? The creator, yes, but the creator of this world, not the creator. So yes and no. Good deep comments today. Good deep comments today. Good deep comments today. I appreciate it. I appreciate them very much. Really good stuff. Really good stuff. They evangelize when they're a mess themselves. I used to say this back when I was a preacher. I would say, if your Christianity don't work at home, don't export it. Guess what? It never works at home. It never works at home. So you're right. They should stop exporting it. We'll have a big day today. We're going to have a cousins club, and we're going to have another presentation that I'm going to do like it's a cousins club because I can't do it on YouTube, but I'm going to put it on the public side of JeffreyDaugherty.com. So stay tuned. Keep your eyes peeled. Folks, we are here to guide our own spirit, master our own ascension, and be our own guru. You're divine. You're sovereign. You're free. I'm reminding you it's time to unindoctrinate yourself. And for Tracy Dyer and the lovely Cynthia, I salute you for being here, seeking after truth, and encourage you to get busy.